The man saw a bear caught in a trap, went over to help it, and then something incredible happened. A few days ago, an extraordinary event took place in the forests of Uludağ, Turkey. While members of the Uludağ Club were hiking, they came across a young brown bear caught in a trap. As soon as they heard the bear's cries, they turned on their camera and headed in the direction of the sound. The scene they encountered was horrifying. A young bear had become ensnared in a poacher's trap. The members of the Uludağ Club filmed the bear's plight from a safe distance for several minutes, capturing its desperate attempts to free itself. As they watched, the club members began discussing the best way to rescue the bear. Directly approaching it was risky, as the frightened animal might lash out in defense. Meanwhile, the bear, in agony from the trap, desperately tried to escape. At one point, it attempted to climb a tree to break free but failed. The young bear was caught by a wire around its left paw, and every movement seemed to intensify its pain. It tried to break the tree to free itself from the trap, but its efforts were in vain. Realizing they couldn't free the bear on their own, the club members quickly called for help. Within moments, a team from the forestry department, including a specialist veterinarian, arrived on the scene. The veterinarian determined that sedating the bear was necessary before attempting a rescue. Positioning himself behind a tree for safety, he prepared to shoot a tranquilizer dart. The plan was to wait for the bear to tire before administering the shot, ensuring the safest approach for both the animal and the team. But they couldn't afford to waste time. The veterinarian took a deep breath and, from a safe distance, shot the dart. The tranquilizer dart hit the bear in the shoulder. The young bear, startled and frightened, tried to pull the dart out but fortunately couldn't. Slowly, it drifted into a deep sleep. The veterinarian was well known in Bursa, having served the region for many years. He was an expert, especially when it came to wildlife. Whenever there was an issue with animals in Uludağ National Park, the veterinarian was always informed. He had encountered poacher traps before, but this one was different. This trap was simple yet highly effective. The steel wire had been set up in such a way that the bear had easily fallen into it. As the bear struggled to free itself, the steel wire cut deeper into its leg. Once the bear was asleep, the vet could safely remove it from the trap. If the injuries weren't severe, they would provide first aid and leave the bear where it had fallen asleep. If the injuries were more serious, they would administer another dose of the tranquilizer and transport the bear to the veterinary faculty. After receiving the necessary treatment, the bear would be released back into its natural habitat. This unfortunate bear had been caught in a trap in Uludağ National Park, which covers 12,162 hectares and was declared a national park in 1961. 70% of the park is forest, 28% is grassland and rocky terrain, and only 0.1% is wetland. Thanks to its abundance of trees, vegetation, water, and food, a wide variety of species live in Uludağ National Park. Within the park are valuable species such as wild boar, fox, jackal, wolf, badger, wildcat, and ground bear. As a result, it's a prime target for illegal hunting. Poachers use various traps to capture these animals, later selling their pelts. The bear caught in the trap was just another victim of these ruthless and cruel hunters. Every year, thousands of species fall prey to the barbarity of illegal hunting. Poaching is when people kill animals recklessly, endangering species. Despite being illegal in many countries, people persist in this destructive behavior. The root of poaching lies in humanity's destructive instinct. Sadly, not all animals that fall into the hands of these people are as lucky as the bear that was rescued. Most don't survive. This wounded bear was fortunate enough to encounter good people. The veterinarian began examining the trap that had ensnared the young bear. It was a simple mechanism made of steel wire, tied to a tree with the wire looped at the end. As the animal passed by the tree, it would get caught in the loop, which would tighten. That's exactly what happened. The more the young bear tried to free itself, the deeper the wire cut into its leg. The vet administered another dose of tranquilizer. Fortunately, the trap hadn't caused too much damage to the bear's leg. After thoroughly inspecting the trap around the bear's leg, the vet swiftly released it. He then examined the bear's leg and determined that it wasn't a serious injury. After applying first aid, the vet gave the bear a wake-up injection and left it where it was. Thankfully, the young bear escaped the poacher's trap with only minor injuries. The breathtaking operation had a happy ending for the bear. The veterinarian, accompanied by the park rangers, looked both relieved and exhausted. He had managed to save yet another animal from a trap in the national park. However, this trap was unlike any he had seen before. Had the steel wire cut any deeper into the bear's leg, the tranquilizer would have worn off, making the veterinarian's task much more difficult and dangerous. He would have had to administer another dose of the tranquilizer. In rescue operations like this, time is crucial. If the process drags on too long, both the animal and the rescuer could be at risk. Fortunately, that didn't happen this time. Too often, we behave as if we are the only species on this planet with the right to live, forgetting that all creatures share this world with us. With this mindset, we cause harm to countless creatures, often leading them to their death, sometimes for profit, sometimes for pleasure. We forget or choose to ignore that they too have a life. It is my hope that those who inflict cruelty on animals and people face justice before leaving this world. Never lose sight of your humanity and always strive to be a good person. What an incredible story! If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. See you in the next video.